financing at Icelandic banks. That will mean cuts in services, loss of jobs for council workers. Even now we read that some workers may not even get paid because money is being lost in Icelandic banks. We think that's a scandal, and we think that every worker should have his pay guaranteed by the government, by councils. Amicus and the TNG in Unite organise 180,000 workers in the million-strong banking sector in Britain. We think some of those workers will face redundancy and cuts. We think there will be bank branch closures, but also we think workers in the City of London will also face redundancies. It won't be the fat cats, it won't be some pretty good winners made a mess of RPS and goes on with a multi-million-pound payoff. But these are workers, there'll be administrative workers, clerical workers, cleaners, who are on no pay, on next to minimum wage in some cases, and again organised in our union to fight back. We say to all workers here in the city who have built their jobs under threat to join the union, to fight back, but also to fight for our unions and to defend them and to fight for the policies which will mean that the banks, when they're nationalised, will be taken under the control of workers and run by workers and the taxpayers. That's what we want, rather than handing back to the pretty good with this world who have ruined the banks and have forced this bailout. So thanks a lot for everybody for coming, and I hand over to another speaker. Thanks very much.
Trade union speakers here, making the appeal. Cities and workers in the City of London to join us in this process. The next speaker is Andy Reid, who's from the National Executive of the Public Commercial Services Union, who is under attack, particularly civil service workers, as a result of Gordon Brown's neoliberal policies. Andy.
As has just been said, we're already under attack. We're currently balloting the national strike action and joint strike action with other public sector unions where we can get it in defence of our wages and our living standards. Already before this current shambles, the government was saying to us it was down to public sector workers to bear the brunt of the malfunctioning of a capitalist economy. They were telling us that we had to take de facto pay cuts, less than the rate of inflation, less than half the rate of inflation, to bail out the mess the system has got itself into. We don't accept that. That's why we're balloting for yet more vote strike action to defend our wages and calling on other public sector unions to join in with us. Also, PCS opposes the government plan to hand over public services to exactly the people that have created this mess in the last few weeks. Under the charade of the so-called third sector, so-called non-profit companies, the government is planning to hand over large sections of the welfare state, benefit services and pension provision to bogus charities. So-called non-profit companies are in fact a front for the money men from the city. The same people that can't even manage their own plundering exercises properly now want to take hold of, plunder and destroy public services. PCS is opposed to them. We say that if this country needs public services, it needs decent public services provided for by public servants, public sector workers in secure jobs with a decent standard of living, not facing year-on-year pay cuts to pay for the greed of a small minority. We call on all public sector workers and all trade unionists to work together and support each other whenever possible in order to put up a united front to make sure we're not the ones that pay for this crisis. We didn't cause it. We're not the ones who are dealing in funny money and speculating in subprime mortgages and non-existent funds. Therefore, it's not for us to pay for it.
Okay, Andy. Well, the next speaker is Local Brian Davis, Chair of the Hackney Unison Branch Local Government. Hackney, like all other local authorities, has been under tremendous attack, including as a result of the collapse of the Iceland banks. And now all of a sudden they've got no money left. Where's all the brilliant brains that run our councils that put money into such dodgy investments? Where's the Masters of the Universe now? Well, they've gone in hiding, haven't they? And that's one of the reasons, by the way, we in the National Shop Stewards Network are saying, get rid of the bosses who brought us to this chaos. So the next speaker is Brian Davis, Chair of Hackney Unison. Well, brothers and sisters. I think Bill Morris has just stolen all my speech. I think it's true to say that when it comes to capital and money, as far as we're concerned, it's the wages that pay the bills at the end of the week that make us go to work. What we find though, if you work as an ordinary person and you haven't got the money to pay your bills at the end of the week, you don't get any bailout from Crown, you don't get any bailout from any